We focus on the highlight reels and the championship rings. Yet there is a silent, high-stakes game being played in the corporate boardroom, a game where even the most disciplined superstars can lose it all. Today, we are exploring the stories of athletes who traded their on-court dominance for the volatile world of business deals, only to find themselves ensnared in corporate failures, predatory investments, and financial ruin. Today, we're looking at the players who lost everything off the court, showing how fame, fortune, and success couldn't save them from hitting rock bottom. Walter McCarty, a role player who enjoyed a solid career with the Boston Celtics and several other teams, Walter McCarty's financial issues highlight the dangers of rapid, ill-advised transitions into business ownership without prior experience, coupled with the devastating impact of a sudden loss of primary income. Following his retirement, McCarty attempted to manage various entertainment and hospitality ventures, most notably partnering in Fast Break Donuts LLC to open corporate franchises alongside former coaches and teammates. However, his failure to fully vet the operational realities of his business partners and his heavy reliance on credit to fund projects that struggled to find footing in competitive markets created a highly fragile financial foundation. When his subsequent transition into college coaching came to an abrupt, controversial end, his finances completely collapsed. McCarty defaulted on multiple high-value loans, accumulating over $125,000 in immediate debt to financial institutions. Rather than addressing the crisis with a structured financial team, he failed to appear for court hearings regarding these civil lawsuits. This led an Indiana judge to issue a warrant for his arrest in 2020, which was followed by a personal bankruptcy filing in Massachusetts. His experience is a stark reminder that professional basketball experience does not translate to business acumen, and leaping into heavily leveraged ventures without a safety net often results in total capital loss. Reggie Williams. Reggie Williams was a sensational, multi-talented forward who led the famous Georgetown Hoyas to an UNSA championship appearance before being drafted 4th overall in the 1987 NBA draft. Williams enjoyed a highly lucrative 10-season NBA career, anchoring franchises like the Los Angeles Clippers and Denver Nuggets, while accumulating over $14 million in gross player salary. Williams was considered to be a sharp, business-minded individual on and off the court, but his financial life suffered an absolute destruction due to a highly sophisticated, predatory financial fraud ring that targeted high-earning professional athletes. Williams trusted his hard-earned career millions to a group of unlicensed, highly deceptive financial advisors who promised to place his funds into safe, high-yield municipal bonds and corporate securities. Instead, the scammers systematically drained his primary bank accounts, funneling his cash into shell corporations and personal offshore accounts, while presenting Williams with entirely fabricated monthly financial statements. By the time Williams discovered the massive theft, over $8 million of his liquid capital had vanished. The ensuing financial fallout triggered massive tax audits from the ears due to back taxes on unauthorized transactions, resulting in heavy fines and tax liens. His remaining real estate assets were systematically foreclosed upon to pay off the government, leaving the former college legend completely broke and relying on small NBA pensions just to cover his baseline expenses. Marcus Fizer. Marcus Fizer was a phenomenally powerful, dominant forward who became an All-American at Iowa State before being selected as the prestigious 4th overall pick in the 2000 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls, quickly securing a lucrative multi-million-dollar rookie contract. Fizer accumulated over $22 million in career player salary, but his financial architecture completely imploded during his post-NBA years due to an incredible lack of wealth preservation, speculative business defaults, and a highly sophisticated financial scam perpetrated by an unlicensed financial promoter. Fizer fell victim to a fraudulent investment promoter who convinced him to pour millions of dollars of his liquid capital into an entirely fake real estate syndicate that promised high-yielding monthly returns. Unbeknownst to Fizer, the promoter used his cash to fund personal expenses while providing entirely falsified accounting statements. As his liquid cash vanished, Fizer was hit with intense tax debts from the ears on unauthorized investments and faced multiple high-profile civil lawsuits from private lenders over outstanding commercial notes. By 2014, Fizer's financial world collapsed entirely into public view when federal courts issued massive financial judgments against him, leading to the forced seizure of his bank accounts and foreclosures on his property portfolio, leaving the former top 5 pick completely flat broke. Corliss Williamson. Corliss Williamson, famously nicknamed Big Nasty for his incredibly tough physical playing style, was a standout star who won an NCAA national championship at Arkansas before enjoying an illustrious 12-year NBA career. Williamson earned an impressive $34 million in career salary, notably winning the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award and capturing an NBA championship ring with the Detroit Pistons in 2004. Despite his reputation as a grounded, hard-working veteran, Williamson's post-playing wealth suffered an absolute collapse due to a mixture of severe overspending on luxury assets and an unmanageable number of bad lifestyle investments. Williamson fell into the common trap of severe post-career lifestyle inflation, maintaining multiple high-priced estates, purchasing an expensive fleet of luxury custom motor vehicles, and funding the financial desires of an expanded group of relatives and acquaintances. He also poured millions of dollars of liquid cash into speculative, unhedged startup business projects, high-end car custom shops, and real estate partnerships that completely failed to generate any profit. By the early 2010s, his multi-million-dollar bank accounts had been entirely depleted, leading to a series of intense lawsuits from institutional banks over unpaid debts and lines of credit. He lost his primary luxury holdings to foreclosures and was forced to auction off personal items just to stay afloat, eventually turning to low-paying college assistant coaching roles to rebuild his financial life from scratch. Junior Bridgman. Junior Bridgman played 12 seasons in the NBA during the 1970s and 80s, primarily for the Milwaukee Bucks, earning what was a highly respectable upper-class salary for that era. However, his financial story is a unique warning about the absolute necessity of transition planning, as his post-career wealth was temporarily frozen and heavily threatened by a massive financial advisor conflict. Bridgman trusted a portion of his early capital to financial managers who placed his money into highly complex, unfavorable restaurant and franchise deals that locked up his cash and generated zero immediate returns while stacking up management fees. Bridgman realized his portfolio was being drained by the advisor's self-serving corporate structures and decided to take total control of his own money, cutting ties and fighting off lines of debt. He completely pivoted, directly buying fast food franchises himself, and went on to build a massive business empire worth hundreds of millions. His story remains a lesson that relying on corporate wealth managers to run your business lifecycle can ruin your capital before you even get a chance to grow it. The business world has no timeouts, and when a financial foundation cracks, the slide can be instant. Whether through predatory scams or failed ventures, the path from superstar to business casualty is shorter than most realize. These stories prove that even a legendary career can't survive a string of bad deals. Which of these failures shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe so you're locked in for our next look at the business side of the NBA.